Hello, I'm Lowell Speers. Glad I could be here with you again today. We're going to do pink carnations, believe it or not. And okay, let me tell you what I've been doing up here. I got the magic clear on the canvas already. And let me just take a towel. I'm going to go over it just about one time like this. Remove the excess. And it's still in the grain of the canvas, and that's where we want it. Sometimes, some paintings you want a little bit more. And let me kind of let you look at my palette here a little bit. And I've got the titanium white soft and a yellow ochre and Prussian blue. And notice I've mixed up a flower base here. It's 4 parts soft white, 1 part Van Dyke brown, and then my leaf base here. It's 4 parts yellow ochre, a half part Prussian blue, and a half part alizarin. And I'm going to show you how, and of course I got alizarin here. Let me show you how I mixed up this here leaf base. And the instructions that I got in my books and stuff, you'll be able to match this color exactly if you follow the sequence of steps here and how to get the right amount. Notice what it said. It said 4 parts yellow ochre, and I'll demonstrate here on the alizarin how to get it off. And I got the 4 parts. Whatever I start with, when I put out a part, each one matches. And this here is the half part of Prussian blue. Now you watch what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the half part of alizarin crimson on. And I'm just going to compare it to that other part right there and cut it off. Then I would just lay this on a palette and mix it up, and you'll always get the right color that I have. All right, but I've already got it mixed for us here. And let's start right in. Let's base in some of our carnations here. And well, I'm going to do like 4 red ones up here. They'll be kind of pink time we put the light in. And then a white one and maybe a little bud up here. So let's just load up this petal brush. Loading quite a lot of paint on. And let's see, let's just pick one right out of here. This may not show up too good yet. But we will when we start putting our other color on. And just a basic shape of the carnation right now. And let's put one right in here. Now these are be kind of tipped up on edge just a little bit. And let's flow one. Let's go right up here and get one maybe tipped over this way a little bit. This is strictly alizarin right at this point. We don't have a buildup of paint. Avoid the buildup. And let's get another one right up here. Maybe this one will be just a little bigger up there. Okay, I know we're painting on this canvas has been prepared with acrylic black, and you want to make sure you let it dry overnight, so we don't want a problem down the line with your paint cracking, you know. So if you let that dry overnight, I think you're going to be safe. Even though it's dry to the touch, it may not be dry clear through. Okay, let's put our white flower base on. And this is the one that's kind of going to steal the show because it's more predominant. And let's go right in here, and let's make this a pretty good size one. Put the paint on so that you can cover the grain of the canvas. Notice some of the grain showing right here. Make sure you get it covered up. Pretty good size. Now we're going to put a little bit of, let's take a little bit, with this brush polluted with this color, let's take a little bit of our leaf base now, and let's add to that. And we're going to make it, a lot of white flowers, they have a kind of a greenish tinge down inside. So let's put that color down inside here. Very similar to a lot of the flowers that I paint, I put the dark down inside. And maybe we see it on edge here just a little bit. So we have kind of a greenish cast there. Okay. And our next step is let's go to our large leaf brush. That's a sable brush, and let's put in some of our major stems. And let's go. First of all, I'm working from this base color, and what I do is I determine. I think this is the color I want, and when I go up here, I look at it and make the final decision. See if this is what I want. Look at the color, and that's pretty good for the darkest portion of it. If there was a correction, that would be the time to make it before you paint everything in. So holding the brush straight in, I'll curve a little bit, so just don't make a bunch of straight lines. And we got one coming off here. Let's just cross it right over the edge of that white. And this one here, let's put this one in first. Let's have it curving over behind that white one, right up to it, and bring it through. And this white one, let's have it so it curves this way. I'm getting everything so it kind of comes out of the bottom here. Okay, we got this one up here. Let's try curving it around a little bit. Cross it over once in a while. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, right underneath the edge of these, if you want to show the bottom of the foliage under there, just put it in like that. Just use the corner of the brush here. Also on this one. And we got a little bud that comes, we're going to put right up in here. Pick a good spot. That would be a good spot right there. And on the bottom of it, let's put this. We waited for the white. We'll put the white on afterwards. Maybe make that stem just a little bigger by pressing a little bit harder. And on this one, we're going to see. This one up here, let's just leave it so we don't have to show the bottom. Maybe we'll tip it enough so we don't see it. Okay, and now to make this base a little bit lighter, let me take just a little bit of yellow ochre and do a portion of it over here. And maybe a little bit of my white flower base, and notice it got a little bit lighter. If you want to have a little bluish cast to it, just add a little touch of Prussian blue. But I'm basically working from the flower, the leaf base. Now let's just come in here and maybe I'll put a few highlights on the edges. Now whatever brush you're comfortable with, you may want to use a small leaf for the same thing. Either one will work for you. In fact, I'm going to switch over to the small leaf. And right underneath these here, let's go with this light color again. Let's pull in a few little areas like that, little overlapping petals there. Right on these area of the flower right underneath there. Also on the bud. Maybe a few more highlights. And now I'm going to show you how these little leaves are made on here. Let's start off with our little darker color there. And let's put a little nodule right there by just pulling it around. Let's do that in a few spots as long as we're doing it. Let's do one here. Let's do one here. Right under the flower itself, about right in here is one. This is where the little leaves come out. They're fairly small. We're going to add some other filler in here. And maybe one here. I'm trying to avoid them where they will be positioned down here so they don't look like they're just straight across. Okay, now on the leaf itself, get plenty of paint in the brush. Load the brush nice and smooth. Because we need plenty of paint because we're going to make a, notice it's on both sides of the brush. And let's just hold it in here and twist it around. These are little short leaves. You can start from the inside or you can come from the outside. And they're kind of curled around a little bit. And let's do that on all these. And we're going to put in some, we're going to take our liner brush and put in some smaller filler leaves in here also. Okay, this one here, maybe we curl it around this way. Okay, let's go with our liner brush now. I'm going to thin the paint down. I'm dipping it in an odorless thinner here now. I'm going to thin some of this here lighter leaf color down here where we've added the yellow ochre and a little bit of our white flower base. And let's Get it thin so it almost run on the palette. Notice how runny it is there. Lots of paint in the brush. Now hold back on the brush, and we're going to do some little flowers down here. They may look kind of like baby breath, but they're kind of some little buds. As an artist, you can just take that license and you can make up your own flowers sometimes. And also, let's come out of here and we're going to put in some other smaller leaves up here, just to kind of fill the painting up a little bit, to balance it up a little bit. If you get that paint thin enough, you can make quite a few strokes without having to reload. And I'm not afraid to hit the flower at this time because it's not completed. I paint right on top of that. But notice on this side of the painting, on the right side, everything tends to lean this way. As it comes towards center, try to avoid things going up straight or down. As it goes to the left, let them lean over this way a little bit. Okay, let's put a few little leaves on there. Back to our small leaf brush. Now let's add a little more yellow ochre, make it just a little bit lighter. So our leaf base plus our white flower base plus a little yellow ochre. And let's go up here and do some of these little leaves. This is a little sliding, twisting motion. And you can do quite a few on there. See, we have that magic clear on there, and it allows you this paint to just slide on there real nice. And I say the faster you paint, the better they'll look. So it's just like a twist and slide. Two movements in one there. That's another thing you can do. You notice how I touch the red up here. Now watch, I will touch the red on purpose and pull the red into some of the leaves, just for the sake of harmony there a little bit. These down here I'm going to do a little bit something different here. Maybe there's a couple showing in here. Okay, now you're going to watch this. I'm going to double load the brush this time. I'm going to take the dark green. This is a small leaf brush. Load it on both sides. Now tip the edge of the brush right into the corner. I'll make sure you can see that real good. Get it so I'm putting paint right on the tip. I'm going to show you that. See, I got it on that side and that side. Now I'll show you how I'll make these little buds now. This is a nice little trick. You lean it towards the stem or the way it's growing, and you just smash it down, and it'll leave a little tiny flower right there. A little tiny bud, okay? So, and then when you want to reload, just reload the same way. Go back in on the corner again, and let's do a few more. Now let's don't get in a rut here and do them all the same color. Let's load the green again. And let me just, I'm going to take a little bit of alizarin right over here, and let's take a little white. Let's get another color here. So just alizarin and white, and let's dip our corner of our brush into that, same way we did the other. And let's punch it up by putting some of our other color in there, like we have our flower color there. Sometimes you can reload without reloading in the green. I just put it right into the alizarin that time. And maybe there's a couple that happens to get up here. They could be part of this this foliage. They could be little flowers on there. And that's getting to be where it's probably enough. We don't want to overdo it. Let's get right onto our flower now and start on that. I'm going to clean this. This is a small leaf brush. I'm cleaning it. You need a sable brush. You need one that'll sharpen up real good, and this brush really does it for you. And let's start. We're going to start right on soft white and alizarin. We're going to mix two values here. The important thing is don't get it too light to begin with. So load it on both sides so it's nice and sharp. Nice and sharp. I'll just lay this down and we'll start right up here. We're going to paint on the back side now. We're going to make these little edges here as they go around. Let's see if we can't get it just a little bit sharper. There are little serrated edges on these flowers. And there's quite a few petals inside, so let's add a few on the inside. You can kind of let them kind of fade into the other portion of it there. This is the darkest value. For balance, let's put some more over here. Now I'm going to lighten up a little bit just by adding more white to the alizarin. And let's start a couple in the front here. I'm looking for a balance here. I need a couple over here. This is a pretty good size carnation. Nice and loose. Right in this area here, right back here, let's have it so a few of them stick back up this way. A little bit lighter, didn't show. Connect them onto the... Okay, let's go up and do the other one. The main thing is here, head that stroke towards that stem that you got there. Head these little strokes towards it. And just leave them little serrated edges showing out there. See, what I did is I did the outside, the back side with a darker color. And as it made the stroke, it blended into the darker color underneath. And that way, when I come in with a little lighter color, it shows the next group of petals. Maybe one more layer right there before we put our lighter ones on. Okay, I'm going to lighten it up a bit now. There's quite a few petals on the carnation, all right. Okay, let's do the same thing up here. And you can go quite a bit without reloading. Again, some of the inside petals. It's a pretty big project here for us today. But a real interesting flower. I'm sure everybody's heard about carnations. I don't have my white sports coat on, but I'll do the best I can. Maybe a couple petals that lap over that so it doesn't, we don't have to show that bottom of that flower in there. One more here and then we'll get down to our white one. And we got a little white bud up there we got to put in. And again, a little bit lighter in the front right there, just for a few brighter lights. To make it lighter, just add a little bit of soft white. Okay. On our little white bud now. I'm going to go back into my flower base here, that white flower base, and let's just pull in a few little lines like that. And then just take the flower base with just a little bit of soft white, make it a little bit lighter. And let's do a couple more in here. Okay, back to the white. Back to the white flower. Again, the same color, just white and some of our white base and a little touch of yellow ochre on this one. Make it a little bit lighter. And let's start right in here. And we kind of want this one to steal the show. Mainly because the light against the dark is going to make this one the most outstanding. So if you're going to spend a little more time with one, this would be the one you'd want to take your time on. Kind of working from the outside and bring it in. Direct the strokes towards that stem that's always under there. You know, I looked at these carnations quite a while, and I always thought, that's got to be a hard one, and I kind of avoided this flower, and I painted a lot of flowers. But I finally got brave enough and said, well, I'm going to give it a shot. And it turned out real good, I think, for only painting them a few times. So that proves to you that you'll be able to also paint these because it's easier than it looks. And I'm trying to make it easy as I can for you and tell you everything. So now we're painting also, just like we did before, another layer. And I'm going to wipe my brush off and get a little bit more, a little whiter color. Also another layer there. And just keep repeating the same things that we did before. And I'm about ready to start one of these on the front here. Remember, just white with a little touch of yellow ochre in it. I guess you could probably use pure white too, but it seemed like when you put a little bit of yellow ochre in it, it doesn't look quite as stark looking. Another layer. Maybe I close up the middle just a little bit. And of course, you want to step back once in a while and take a look, see how you're doing. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Notice this red that I got right here. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to coordinate. I'm going to tie these reds in over here by pulling some of this red over into this edge of this white flower. Give it just a little bit of reflection of that red that's coming there. Okay. Let me go back down here onto my light. I'm going to punch up just a little bit more light on some of our red ones here. Let's go back over to this one right here. Give it just a little more punch. I guess that petal, you might call it, for a description, you might say it's kind of a little bit fan-shaped. Also on this one. Maybe a little bit on this one here. I'm still going to come back and touch a little more red on this one. I don't get carried away here and get too much on it. Maybe a couple more blades of grass with the liner brush. Kind of fill it. Don't be afraid to paint a couple of grasses over top of the little, maybe a pigtail there to fill it out. It's amazing what you can do with just some grass. It kind of helps make things go together for you. So I guess that's about it. I sure hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you for joining me today. Bye.